In this video, we will show you how to quickly convert your old block-style thermal expansion valve into an inexpensive but effective evaporator flush adapter. When an air conditioning compressor is replaced for any reason, it is very important that every inch of the refrigerant path should be either new or flushed to avoid premature failure of the replacement unit. This means that all traces of the old oil and any traces of abrasive particulates be completely removed from the system. Flushing the evaporator on many TXV systems can be particularly difficult because the TXV valve is usually mounted inside the cabin or at least flush with the firewall. This makes it extremely difficult to attach a flush tool to the evaporator when the TXV is removed. Remember, the TXV must be removed in order to flush the evaporator. The TXV metering orifice is only a few thousandths of an inch across and would not allow nearly enough flush solvent to flow to effectively flush the evaporator with the TXV in place. So let's begin. Recover any refrigerant from the system using approved refrigerant recovery equipment. Now disconnect the suction and liquid line assembly from the TXV valve at the firewall. Remove the TXV itself by removing the two Torx bolts that hold the valve to the evaporator. Clamp the thermal expansion valve in a vise, unscrew the power valve, and remove the metering needle. From the opposite side of the valve, remove the superheat spring retaining screw, followed by the superheat spring and metering valve. With the TXV block still clamped in the vise, drill out the liquid line inlet port with a large drill bit as we are doing here. You may need to make the first pass with a smaller bit and finish with the final desired size, usually around 7/16 of an inch. The final hole should be as large as possible. Note that you will need to drill at an angle as the liquid line inlet and evaporator ports are slightly offset. Reinstall the power valve and the superheat spring retaining screw. Rinse off any metal residue from the drilling operation. Now, with the TXV inlet and outlet both wide open, we can easily flow enough flush solvent to thoroughly flush the evaporator and remove all the contaminated oil and abrasive debris. Temporarily reinstall the drilled out TXV and the suction discharge hose assembly to the evaporator. Attach a quality flush tool to the suction line where it's been disconnected from the compressor, and route the end of the liquid line, which has been disconnected from the condenser, into a flush capture container. We are now ready to flush the evaporator. Follow the flush tool manufacturer's instructions to thoroughly flush the evaporator. You can also watch our other videos in this series on how to perform an effective flush. One further tip: if the suction and discharge hose assembly is being replaced, always a good idea as aging hoses are prone to leak, you can modify the old hose assembly to significantly shorten the flush solvent path by cutting the old lines as close as possible to the firewall, as we are showing here on this demonstration board. Shortening the lines greatly reduces the resistance to the flush solvent flow and the likelihood of harmful flush residue remaining in the evaporator. Here we have cut the suction line at the crimp joint for easy attachment of the flush tool. Remember, you will almost certainly be able to reuse this modified hose assembly in the future, as it will attach to a good number of TXVs on different makes and models. When flushing is complete, remove the modified TXV flush adapter, install a new TXV, and complete the compressor installation process. One final point: thermal expansion valves are application specific and are not interchangeable. Each valve has a specific tonnage, superheat, and maximum operating pressure or MOP specification. However, the valve blocks are often sufficiently similar so that you will be able to reuse your modified TXV to flush other similar evaporators in the future.